Is the good number just a gasoline story, but strip that out and it's a little softer?
Yeah, I think what you were describing, parsing this number 10 different ways, is what we tend to do because we
it's really
bucket
fun when
it.
you break it, by the way. It's super great.
You did really well. You know, when we look at the impact on GDP, which is what so many investors and market watchers are looking at, what we're really seeing is a consumer that does not give us much reason for concern. We've had, retail sales is volatile. We had a really strong number last month. The tax cuts are doing their work. We have a tight labor market. And more importantly, we have a lot of consumer optimism. All of that seems to be fueling a really healthy pace of consumption. But yes, I think the gas story means that when we're adding it up on a quarterly basis, probably we're not going to give the boost to GDP that the headline number being so strong would imply.
And I want to point out sort of where we saw a lot of the gain. Restaurant sales grew 1.5%. Building material stores also grew 0.8%. Health and personal care saw a 2% plus increase, the biggest gain since 2004. On the downside, you saw a drop at food and beverage stores. You also saw department stores slide despite my best efforts, and a decline at clothing retailers as well. How does that set us up for this back half of the year for the consumer?
So I think right now it's still really all about consumer optimism. And that's because we don't have the wage growth. So the fact that we're seeing the investment in building materials, I think it speaks to still a robust housing market that has not been terribly negatively impacted by the rising rate environment. We also see, I think, just generally strong vacation schedules this summer. That's one of the reasons why gas prices are higher. There's higher demand for leisure. That's reflected in these numbers as well. So all that to me really speaks to consumer optimism and the fact that we're really seeing a consumer that has yet to be impacted by all of these trade headlines.